Hi! I haven't forgotten the password of my YouTube channel, so welcome back to my channel. I got all ready to go out with a friend, except the plans got cancelled because of me. Yeah, a few reasons. So I thought I should maybe utilize my time and the stress that I have put on and make a video for my YouTube channel that I have not touched in. I don't even remember when was the last time I posted. Today's video is going to be a monthly wrap-up, except it is 2 months, that is July and August, because I have read only 5 books in both these months combined. So it is going to be a monthly wrap-up for July and August. I have just decided to make monthly wrap-ups as a way to motivate myself to read more. I hope I'm going to read more in September, but I doubt it. Let us start with the month of July. I was traveling the whole month. I had gone to Delhi and then to Bihar for some reasons, and I read only 2 books. The first book that I read in the month of July was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I listened to the audiobook. Audiobooks also count as reading. They do. So I listened to the audiobook of You Should See Me in a Crown while I was going to Delhi on the train ride, and I think the next day also, because I did not finish it completely. The book is about a black teenager named Lighty who is running for prom queen in her school, except she falls for this new girl who is also running for prom queen, and a few things happen. I'm not going to give any spoilers in this video, by the way. Overall, it is a nice light read that you can read anywhere, maybe when you're traveling like me, because I thought it was exactly the book that I was looking for while traveling. I did not want my brain to think. It's not a bad thing. I'm saying the book is nice. It's light and it has sapphic elements. It also has elements related to siblings, like relationships with your siblings, and also a best friend, a lost best friend that you find again. I'm happy that this book was written because you don't see a lot of sapphic and black representation in the same book, which is also something that worked for me because it was new. I haven't read any sapphic book that has black characters. Maybe it's just me not reading enough. Yes, I liked the book and I would recommend it if you are looking for a nice light read. I didn't pay a lot of attention. I did not even write a proper review for the book because I was traveling. I did not have enough time. So this is it. This is all the thought that I have on this book. The next book that I read in the month of July is Radio Silence by Oseman. I think this book found me when I needed to read it the most, because I was also in the process of applying to colleges at that time. I'm still in the middle of applying to colleges and getting admissions and everything, and I'm also very confused. And I also had a fallout with a very close friend of mine around that time, which had me a little disturbed. I think Radio Silence is impeccable. It's amazing. I have not tabbed this book, unfortunately, because I was traveling and I did not take anything with me. I just took this book. But this book was very good. This book was very good. I really liked the writing style. It was so different. At times I was like reading it, I closed the book, I looked at my ceiling and I just breathed, because a few things just touched my soul. You know, it hit the right spot, and I'm so glad I read it when I needed to read it the most. Maybe if I read this book like 2 years ago or 2 years later, maybe I wouldn't have appreciated it as much as I appreciated it right now when I'm in the process of applying to colleges and everything. And yes, it is a definite recommendation. I think you will like it. I read it because Kat from Paperback Dreams has recommended this book a lot many times. Moving on to the month of August, I had returned back from my trip. I was just unpacking and relaxing for a while, so I probably did not even read for the first 10 days. Anyways, the first book that I read in the month of August is Catching Fire by Susan Collins, and I rated it 5 stars. I wish I could have rated it 6 stars because this is peak literature. The characters, the scenes, the conflict, the writing, everything improved drastically when you compare it to the Hunger Games. I think the Catching Fire is the best in the trilogy. I think it is pretty much one of the best books that I have ever read, and I appreciated it a lot, basically for the writing and also for the plot, but the writing is the main reason why I really loved Catching Fire. Catching Fire, if you don't already know, is the second book in the trilogy The Hunger Games, written by Susan Collins. It has movie adaptation. The whole trilogy has a movie adaptation that I watched before reading the books. I don't usually watch the movies before reading the books, but with this one I did, and I'm kind of glad that I did, because a lot of scenes that, like for example, the scene where Peeta gives Katniss a pearl and she keeps it, and the scene, I think it's the same scene when Katniss says I need you to Peeta when he says nobody needs me, and these scenes wouldn't have been so explained well inside my head if I didn't know what it looked like. So I think the movie adaptations are very good for the Hunger Games, and you should also watch it. The writing of this book is so impeccable that the plot twist is just thrown at your face. You are not given time to prepare. Susan Collins is not discovering the whole plot twist with you. She just narrates it to you, and you're like, oh my god, this is what is going to happen. But this book is very much like the changing point in the whole series. This book changes the entire story, and then the third book, that is Mockingjay, I am reading it right now. Yes, I have read it halfway through. I am going to finish it today. So the third book will explore the consequences of the ending of this book. So this book is the changing point. I'm glad this book is the changing point in the series, because it just has that power to grip the readers and be like, you are going to read this, you are going to read the next book in the series, because it is so good. The next book that I read in the month of August is The Silent Patient by Michaelides by Alex. The Silent Patient is about a woman named Alicia Berenson who has been arrested for the murder of her husband. So she killed her husband. And then there is this psychotherapist named Theo Faber, who has always been interested in Alicia's case, and he has always wanted to help her in some way. So when the post of a psychotherapist empties in the psych ward that she is in, that Alicia is in, Theo applies for the post and gets a job, and then he tries to help her, and that is the whole story. Theo tries to make Alicia talk again, and in the process we unravel a lot of things. We go through a whole adventure of why and how she might have killed and what happened exactly, Alicia's childhood, Alicia's family background, her paintings. Her paintings are the best part of this book. The whole plot was being compared to this Greek tragedy of Alcestis, and I really liked how it just fit so well with the theme. I especially like the painting that Alicia made in the psych ward, where the narrator was carrying her outside of this burning hospital, except it was confusing because we couldn't figure out if the narrator was taking her away or he was trying to throw her back in the fire. I think the author did an amazing job writing this book. I really enjoyed the writing. But what did not work for me and why I gave it 3 stars, the reason lies in the last part, where author just lost sense of the plot. He kind of shifted his focus from Alicia to this whole like big mystery, this whole twist that he has brought in. It did not work for me because the last part almost seemed like a whole different story, that I wasn't even reading The Silent Patient, because I wasn't expecting it to be so monotonous and like that. And also because I kind of expected the ending coming from the very beginning. I can tell you exactly where I expected it because I've written it down. It is in page 32, and I'm going to keep it spoiler free, but I have written the exact thing that was going to happen in the end, so it did not surprise me at all. I just guessed it. On page 326 is my favorite quote from this book. It is, "That's the truth, I didn't kill Gabriel, he killed me. All I did was pull the trigger." If you've read the book, I'm pretty sure you also felt a pinch in your heart when she said this. It's almost like past trauma has so much effect on someone's personality when they grow up. The last book that I read in the month of August is Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chao, and I am disappointed heavily. I was expecting a lot because the beginning was very good. The book is about a girl named Chloe who hires a boyfriend through this service called Rent for Your Rents. I think this is such a good play with the words, rent for your parents, so you make it rent for your rents. Yeah, she hires a boyfriend through this service to introduce to her very conservative parents who are pushing her towards marriage with this weird dude named Hongbo. And yeah, that's it. Then they fall in love and everything happens. Rent a Boyfriend was clearly supposed to be a romance novel, except there's little chance for you to enjoy the romance and a lot of chance for you to just discover their unnecessary family drama and be disappointed with the ending. I mean, I was disappointed with the ending because it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to the plot. Although the characters were East Asians and I'm South Asian, there's still a lot of similarity in our cultures, like expectations from your parents and just going to a good college, arranged marriages and everything. So I could relate to the themes, but it wasn't executed well enough for me to be able to relate to it, because Chloe's mother wasn't the best person. I thought a lot of times that she was stepping out of the line, and then she shouldn't have been redeemed in the end. I was just infuriated that everything came to almost normal in the end for Chloe's family, which shouldn't have been the case, because Chloe's mother, not a big fan of her. I basically gave this book 2 stars because it kind of lost track after the Christmas arc, and yeah, it was just the first third part of the book that was interesting, and I was very hopeful. I was sure I would give it at least 4 stars, but you can always be disappointed. So Gloria Chao disappointed me with this book. The writing is decent. I don't have anything to complain about when it comes to writing. The only character in this whole book that I liked was Drew. Obviously, I think his artistic expression was very nice. He had a personality. So these are the 5 books that I read in the months of July and August. I'm hoping to read a little more in the month of September. A lot of parts of this video is going to be cut eventually when I edit, but it was just me blabbering a lot, and now my mouth is tired, my voice is sore, so I think it's time to end the video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, let's be friends on Goodreads, and also subscribe to my channel. That is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, comment down below. It really makes me happy. And okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.